Hello, guys. So I'm just on my way across the river here on the ferry, and I'm just on my way to go and see Julian Lage. So should be a really, really nice evening. I'm meeting my buddy Rich there, but this isn't the first time I've seen Julian Lage. I also saw him in London at some point, at Pizza Express, and I was just blown away by his playing. It's one of the most beautiful teletones I've ever heard. So I'm kind of hoping that he's going to be on a different axe today, but I can't turn my nose up at the telly because, as I say, it was just absolutely unbelievable tone that he got. Just out of a Fender Deluxe and a telly. I know he plays on some custom stuff, but it wasn't the gear. It was his fingers. It's just unbelievable. So Julian Lage is truly one of the great guitarists of this generation, and although his language is very much rooted in the tradition, the extent to which he's able to take this language to is just on another level. His playing really encapsulates the free spirit of improvisation, and it's just a true great. So I'm really looking forward to today's gig, and let's go and see Rich at the venue. Right, guys, so we've got here now. It's a lovely little venue, this one. I've never been before, but it looks like Julian's got a nice place to play. So I just met my buddy Rich in there. I'm sure you'll have some words to say to you afterwards. Give you a little lowdown on the gig. We'll see what he's up to. Last time he was playing those more country influenced songs. So I don't know what he's up to at the moment. So we'll check it out. But anyway, I'll see you inside the gig. So guys, me and Richard just come out of the gig, and it was a cracker, wasn't it, Rick?
Brilliant.
It was a great gig. What are your thoughts on it, though?
Well, no one expected Joey Barron on the drums. We thought it was billed as a duo, so we went in winning because we saw a trio like that in North Shields, and as lovely as North Shields is, you don't expect that trio just to be on the street, do you? I mean,
I was blown away by the drummer. It was the same bass player. Jorge, I've got their names. I'll put it on the video.
With Joey Barron on the he's on everything.
Yeah, he was unbelievable on drums. They played absolutely beautifully together.
I know we've got like only a couple of minutes, but I thought way into this, right? On one of the YouTube jazz guitar sites, Mr. Larry T, we call him. He threw shade on Julian, right? And the idea,
really, did he? I like Larry T.
Yeah, I know he will. He's kind of fun. And the idea was that people on the group, he's doing stuff that Julian Lage doesn't do, right? You know, there's all these quite a hardcore beboppers, and that brings. It's not about bebop with a band like this, is it?
There was one jazz tune maybe in the whole set,
and which was nice to hear.
So obviously, as a jazz fan, and as a guitar fan, I love to hear lines. However, it was inspiring listening to a guitar player play songs to the audience.
So there were so where did the lines stop when improvisation starts? Because there was a hell of a lot. There were still vehicles for improvisation that you weren't getting your vocabulary from harmony. You were getting your vocabulary from, he was drawing from other sources, which I think is very hard to do and it's underrated. And you don't see a lot of people doing it. And that's what's put him at the forefront of jazz guitar, I think. The fact that, he's got that country folk kind of vibe.
It's socially relevant, isn't it?
Wow, I don't know.
Well, as socially relevant as jazz can get nowadays.
That's too political for me. I just think it's audience relevant. I mean, it's nice to listen to, and there's still a ton of improvisation and the freedom there, which is what's magic. And I'm a bit obsessed with trying to improvise over like basic harmony. It's a real challenge without drawing on, blues and pentatonic vocabulary, or country vocabulary. But he is improvising on that generally diatonic stuff, but making it work and being free with it.
It's the conversational ability he's got with the band, but then that translates to the audience.
Yeah,
and there's such an array of emotions in his playing.
There's dynamics.
There's dynamics, but there's also joy. There's also elements of humor. Elements of beauty, and just so many different colors that he's able to draw upon in his playing.
And without guitar effects, it's just a Telecaster.
He had a telly, however, he whacked in looked like a Charlie Christian part.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a different type of telly to the one that he had last time, and it was a slightly softer tone than his Twangcaster last time.
He wasn't twangy.
No, he played the whole gig on the neck pickup.
Yeah.
He didn't change any settings apart from the volume, very occasionally.
Yeah.
But it's always inspiring seeing a great like Julian, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, the final thing I'll say is, obviously he gets a lot of love, but I also hear people comparing him a lot to the likes of Schofield or Pat Metheny and everything. And I really think he's unique. And
he is, but the comparison is that they're not looking towards bebop. And I think if you go back in his career, you first kind of prominence, I think, is more of like a Django kind of player. And that diatonic, again, the diatonic harmony, you're not getting away and short of it, although you do that sort of stuff, but he's not leaning towards it. And he doesn't feel the need to, and neither does Metheny or Schofield. They're just doing their own thing.
No, that's true. I suppose there is a likeness to the Bill Stewart trio that he did at Blue Note.
Yeah.
Schofield. I suppose there is a likeness to that kind of music. But I still think it's unique.
It is unique. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the structures to his solos are complicated, though. The where he's able to take them, the forms are very simple, but where the journey he takes you on within the forms.
He can build a solo, and it takes out of like two chords.
And that's what I feel he elevates from the previous generation.
Yeah.
How free he is. to be able to, take you on that journey and go different directions.
That needs that, because we're doing it. It's not navel gazing what he's doing, and it's not only appealing to other musicians. Although it was every guitarist in Newcastle was in the audience. The girlfriends and wives were there as well and enjoying it, and everyone enjoyed it.
There were a couple missing, but there were many.
Maybe the sewing bees on, I think so.
No, well, we had a thoroughly good time.
We were spoiled. It was a lovely gig.
As you can see, it's getting on a little bit, so I need to try and catch my train home. Otherwise, I'm going to be stranded on the other side of the river, and I'm probably going to have to swim. So yeah. But anyway, we had a lovely evening, and thanks for coming along with us.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy.